Hello, welcome back to Literature 01. Today we'll be considering introduction to poetry. So what is poetry? Poetry is a unique form of literature that uses aesthetic and rhythmic qualities of language in order to evoke meanings and emotions, and it often employs various techniques such as meter, rhyme, and imagery in order to convey complex ideas and feelings. So that is basically the definition of poetry. And poetry can also be said to be a literary form or the oldest form of literary expression known to humanity, with tradition stretching back to oral epics and ancient hymns, and its origins are deeply intertwined with song, ritual, and storytellings across diverse culture. So, what are the characteristics of literature of poetry? Sorry, the characteristics of poetry can be seen as a means of economy of language, or a figurative device, or sound and rhythm. So these are the three major characteristics of poetry, and can also be considered as a form of curing depression. Can also be characterized as a form of curing depression. So let's now move down to the functions of poetry. Before that, let's quickly have a review of the forms and structures of poetry. For the form and structure of poetry, we have a fixed form, then we have verse and stanza, then we have free verse under the forms and structure of poetry. So a fixed form in the aspect that many poems adhere to specific established forms with strict rules. For example, the sonnet has 14 line, or it can be considered as a 14-line poem, often written in iambic pentameter with a specific rhyme scheme. And the Shakespearean rhyme scheme, or the we have the Shakespearean rhyme scheme, sorry, and the haikus, which is a Japanese form with a 5 to 7 to 5 syllable structure, which typically focus on nature. Then for the verse and stanza, poems are typically composed of lines or verbs grouped into stanza, just as we have how prose is arranged in chapter and drama arranged in acts and scenes. Poem is arranged in verse and stanza. Then we have free verse, which is in contrast to fixed form. Free verse poetry does not adhere to a regular meter or rhyme. It relies on natural speech rhythms and varied line lengths in order to achieve its artistic effects, offering poets greater freedom in expression while still maintaining poetic integrity. So now moving on to the functions of poetry. Poetry serves several functions, including expressions of emotions, social commentary, personal reflection, and aesthetic experience. Then what are the themes in poetry? The themes in poetry involves love and relationship, because poetry often explores the complexities of love, relationships, and human connection. Then we have nature and the environment. That is, poetry can reflect on the natural world, exploring themes of beauty, wonder, and the human relationship with nature. Then, thirdly, we have identity and self discovery, in the sense that poetry can explore themes of identity, self discovery, and personal growth, which helps readers to navigate their own experience and emotions. Then lastly, we have mortality and impermanence. It says that poetry often grapples with the themes of mortality and impermanence, encouraging readers to reflect on the fleeting nature of life. So moving down to the language and style in poetry as we have it on your screen. Poetry's language and style are characterized by various aspects such as imagery and symbolism, where poetry often employs vivid imagery and symbolism to convey complex ideas and emotions. Then we have metaphor and simile, whereby poetry uses metaphors and similes to create powerful comparison and also evoke emotions. Then thirdly, we have rhythm and meter, whereby poetry uses rhythm and meter to create a musical quality, adding to the overall aesthetic experience. So for the styles of poetry, poetry encompasses a wide range of styles, including the lyric poetry, narrative poetry, free verse, formal poetry, and other aspects. I think this can also be considered as a type of poetry. So, poetry's unique blend of language, form, and theme allows it to evoke powerful emotions and insights, making it a timeless and universal form of literature. So we've looked at the topic known as poetry, an overview of poetry basically. We'll move on to our next topic in the next lesson. See you there. Thank you for listening.